Yeah, Christian. Fala. Ó. Como fala? mirador pra assim nos hotéis e tudo mais. Você vai, né?
Tudo com os ouvidos.
O capitão? Geralmente tem bastante gente, é o melhor valor. Está perguntando, mas deixa aqui, né? Toda hora, geralmente. Vamos dar uma olhada lá? Meu chapéu. Eu peguei aqui, Tião. Deixa eu uma captura. Olha. Para, pai. Que anda sozinho? O coxinho. Oh, esse é o óculos dele. Abrindo a porta para ele. Se uma da outra comer aqui. Não que fala nada. Tá vergonha. Nos outros cassinos.
É. A pilha é pequena.
Did you pick your butt with your nose? Lá em cima,
Take them now, Barry. Get a nice picture of them together right here. There. Mary, come here, Mary. Mary's gonna take your picture.
Podemos fazer. E atravessar pelo ferry.
É, dá a volta.
E atravessar por dentro.
De repente chega no final.
Suécia. Se não tiver assim, não pega isso aqui dentro. Vai dar um vídeo.
Think of celebrities here today?
Where are we now then?
Yeah, you forget. Whatever you want.
Não como. Peguei o julho inteiro. Pegou o julho inteiro? Pegou o Cristo inteiro também? Descascando embaixo do nariz?
That's your feet. That's your feet.
Lá pra cima. Hã? É o cassino lá pra cima.
Os lugares.
Caio, o que é isso, Caio?
Isso é minha cidadania que eu adquiri ontem.
entrada da frente dele deve ser bonita também, né?
Uhum.
Aí.
tem que mijar, senão não puxa.
Como que foi? Tento mijar. Isso aqui é bacana.
Só puxa a descarga e se mijar. Se quiser enganar, não dá.
Uma mijadinha rápida, só outro não.
Dá a última mijadinha pra puxar a descarga, filho.
Muito bom, aqui, velho.
Made it real quick.
Mais alto.
Adrian, is anyone in there?
Somebody. Yeah.
Eu tento fazer assim, ó, como eu não estou focalizando. Hã? Faz de conta que eu não estou fazendo nada. Tá vendo?
Não vou filmar dela? É. O viado veio aqui. Tá filmando? Tá mesmo? Ei! Para comando. Não! Ouve buzinando por ela? Muito cavalo, velho.
Você pode abrir um pouquinho. Ó, os caras tá ali agora.
Abre já. Essa maquiada.
Sapatão. Oi? Oi, sapatão.
Sérgio.
Bonita.
Eu vi meu mão. Agrada ele, Sérgio. Ele está para agradar. Oh, here. Oh, isso aí são um chave, velho.
Christian, ela.
Umas cor mais linda. Oh, veja. Rhinoceros.
Não. Oi, nenenzinho.
Oi, que olha uma graça. Bonita, né? Bonita, né? Beautiful.
Aham. Pega ela aí.
Open the sunroof, Dad. Não, ela enfia a cabeça. Cara de como. Oi. Nenezinhos. Não sei, acho que vocês iam andar fazendo coisa que girava. Saiu do...
Veja que bonito.
Oi, mãe, tudo bem? The vulture? Yeah. What's it doing here? Fico deitada que nem a Nikita e o Titia. Se joga. A gente pega um pouquinho de sono, veja que é. Rapadeira lá. Que patinha pequenininha, pendurada ali. Que? A leoa é mais bonita que a leoa. É dessa família, isso é meio parecido com o Rex.
Saiu da água agora, de molhar ainda.
Adoro passarinho ali. E eles só ficando lá. Ontem que eu estava deitando lá, brincando com o pezinho na água. Eles ficam boiando. Eles viram na bananeira com isso. Tá limpando as unhas. Isso é uma mulher. Ah, aquilo que da hora, velho. Cuida. Veja isso lá, mãe.
Dormindo, né?
Aqui que tá dormindo, né? No pose. Tá fazendo pose pra te atrair a tia.
Pega aquele que tá lambendo o dedo lá.
Tá invocado.
Vamos ver como é que não falta ar. Olha, é, tá borbulhando.
Brincando. Agora nós brincando, né? Oh, que... Muito alto. Oh! He's digging.
Não, o rabo é pra poder fazer assim.
Olha o saco do bicho. Não é pra nós.
Não, é flamingo.
Oh, que bonito. Oh, how cute. E por que faz não? Oh my god. Como ele tem dentro, rapaz?
Oh, pura tudo.
Escutei o que o Christian falou, pai.
Eu tô de bater neles aí, bem na árvore, bem percebido que não dá.
Let it come here.
Fica bonitinho.
Look at that.
Yeah, surfer hairstyle.
Yeah. Eu tô vendo.
Oh yeah, tirou uma porra.
Baby.
Nem se segura, só se joga. Não parece um mini gorila bem eles? É. Esses bundu, principalmente aquele lá, veja aquele lá com uma banana na boca. Parece um gorilinha.
Maybe under him. Or
É, tem uma neném ali embaixo.
Pegou?
Uhum.
Tranquilidade.
Rolou, não?
É, ele é o dono.
Verdade pra mãe dele. Tudo eles têm uma deles.
Veja que toquinha.
little baby. Little baby.
Ups.
Mommy, looking like
Tá mamando bem, né?
Tem que mamar depois.
É gato.
Oh, look at the little one in his back.
Abaixo não. And they open it perfectly. Abriu, sim.
Aí tem um bosta, né?
Ladrão, peguei as coisas aqui.
Que vergonha, ele está aqui, não tem nada. Como eu fui olhar pra trás.
Porque ele pegou as duas, né?
É, o moço.
Various
million in 1913 said he did so to prove that his friends were wrong. He could afford to pay cash. Set a new record. His friends, he said, had told him you cannot make money with a store that sells nothing more than 10 cents. F.W. Woolworth is his name, and his building shows the difference of construction techniques. The tower there is supported on either side, sandwiched if you will, and then rises unimpeded, starting about halfway up. It could not stand alone in those days because the wall of a building held the main weight of the building. It had to be supported. Today, the wall of a building does not hold it up. It simply presses it up. The buildings are primarily held up by steel beams inside. The walls are called curtain walls. And the World Trade Center going 110 stories up is that as a curtain wall. What do you want to show the public? If you want to conduct this little experiment in gravity, you can do so. If you're going to World Trade, take a scale, a bathroom scale. Weigh yourself on the ground. When you get up on the roof, weigh yourself again. You need dinner. Don't change your clothing. The average adult will have lost between 1 and 1.5 pounds. The reason you are in the air, gravity has a electrical guarantee. It works. Didn't believe it myself. 50,000 people work at the World Trade Center, and it gets its height from the fact that it is not a solid square. You can see the dark vertical areas in it. If you got close to the building, you would see it presents a corrugated surface to the wind, an outer silver skin and inner silver skin sloping back to the black windows, which means that the full force of the wind will never hit that building. It will be ripped, broken up, and allows the building to be taller. In front of World Trade is a super place. It is a glass building with a curved top. Biggest Grand Central Terminal. It's called the Winter Garden. Live 45-foot tall California palm trees, a sweeping Italian marble staircase, shops, restaurants, boutiques, the White Trade Center. The Silver Towers in front of World Trade called the World Financial Center. About 30,000 people work there. The building in Jersey is why their clock is there. The biggest single-faced clock in the world. If you follow college football in our country, the lower part of Manhattan where the trees are is called the Battery of Paris. 100 miles of coastline in New York City, 2,500 miles of water within New York City. And the green room here is it was one of 11 fortresses built to defend this harbor. It was the most heavily fortified harbor anywhere in the world. In 1812, when the war broke out with Great Britain, that building was the first centralized immigration hall in the United States. 8 million immigrants came through there until Ellis Island was opened in 1892. It's now the place where you would buy your tickets, get on the big white boat, head out to Liberty or Ellis Island. If you go to Liberty from New Jersey, you would depart from behind this beautiful old train station off the bell on the right. You'd go to Jersey City. This station opened for business in 1889. Served an average of 60 islands. Again, please do not use the windows, use the sides or the bow. Samuel Ellis built himself an island right after the American Revolution. The island ahead of us on the right. It is quite different now. When Mr. Ellis had it, it was 9 times smaller. It was a little sandbar, barely visible above it, and they paid him $10 a year, so you could have bought this island pretty cheap. The Immigration Hall is the building with the 4 ornate towers. There are 32 other buildings on Ellis Island. Dormitories, dining halls, staff quarters, and hospitals have been shut down. The big white water tank is there above the building we call the laundry building. The laundry building was there to clean people up after the trip, not a very pleasant trip. If you came over here in 1892 when this place opened, if you were coming from Western Europe, your trip of 2 to 4 week duration on the steamship, 2,000 people in steerage, 2 bathrooms, 2 wash tubs, no dining hall. Feed a family of 4. and then take the average $2 a week to pay for your apartment. You would have left in your pocket less than half a dollar, a little less than 50 cents every week. All you've done is put a roof over your head and feed yourself. Most of this island to your right is to cure people of diseases they picked up on the trip. The inner harbor here that we call the Golden Door, or the entryway to the United States. Emma Lazarus made it famous in her poem. Everything to the left of it are the buildings on the immediate left. They're separated from everyone else so we can see you coming if you got out. We'll talk about the immigration process as we come back in. Ellis closed in 1954. Bedlow walked the island ahead of us on the right for picnic grounds. The statue is a lot more fragile than you might expect by looking at it. It is composed of 300 hand-hammered Norwegian copper plates about 1/16 of an inch thick. They would have twinkled. It took most of that time to do his work. The government fascinated by it. When he finished it in 1885, they hired him to do something across the river Seine for the Paris World's Fair of 1889, the Eiffel Tower. The book says July 4, 1776, in Roman numerals. Book of the Rights of the People, the Bill of Rights. The only non-original part of the statue is the torch. 22-karat gold reflecting in the big museum. Rich people rise up against us. And so it became a woman to represent peace and tranquility. And the book to represent a nation of law. The chains are there. The only time you see them, though, is from a helicopter. They are at her feet, broken. The clothing, an Athenian robe, Greece, the birthplace of democracy. The overhang, that is the exit from the elevator, which is not connected in any way to the stairway. Don't think you can ride partway, then walk partway. Make a choice before you start. The pedestal is a gift of the American people to ourselves. It is also the source of embarrassment. The statue finished on time, spring 8th. We were well short of the money necessary to finish the pedestal. We could not put it up. It sat in crates for over a year. Four very simple questions. Doubtful anyone on this ship could not answer them, but 1 out of 5 would not. They were sent to detention. The questions are, what is your name? You may not remember every city. Well, that's the way things were done coming to the United States. When you applied for the United States, you were asked, what is your destination? You then knew it, where your relatives lived, where they were going to pay for it. That's when you began to be clear. It had nothing to do with anything wrong with your personality. The first island that process is ship passing in this area every day. The old fortress that you darky long openings there. You might be able to see the bar. I've got to make Staten Island very much behind us. The big orange ones. Their terminal is up ahead. One of their boats, India, ahead on the left. It's now 36 cents in each direction. In 1810, we'll tell you the story of the Staten Island Ferry over on the Hudson River.
Deixa eu ir na frente.
We're going to go under 20 bridges on this trip, 3 sides of New Amsterdam. At least you can see somebody coming. Not so to the north. Hills and trees. British troops coming ever southward. And 30 years after New Amsterdam was established, the wall was built in 1653. An 8-foot-tall wooden wall, fish every morning they sell. And you'll soon get a good look at the Woolworth building again, supported on either side, about halfway up, the White Tower behind it. The wide building at the foot of the bridge here on the left with the Q witnesses is in Brooklyn. The very first Missouri, ending the war. I'll take a break here as we near this widest point of Manhattan. Give your ears a rest. We'll be on our way up to Midtown. I'll come back. Manhattan is the oldest geologic reserve.